All right, for our first warm-up problem, we're taking 8x squared plus 8x plus 9, taking the standard form and putting it into vertex form. So remember, step 1 is that we take our first term, the x squared, and we put it in this top left box. And we can also label the outside of the box here because we know that this is going to be x times x. That will give us this x squared. Our next step is that we have to take this second term, our middle term here, and we're going to split it into these two boxes. Now, since it's a square, we know that the things in those two boxes have to be equal. So what you do is you take your middle term, divide it by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that means we're going to get 4 of these x's in each of these boxes. Now again, we're going to label the outside of our box. Since I know this says plus 4x, we're going to stick a plus 4 up on top. And it says plus 4x, we're going to stick a plus 4 here. And the reason is that this 4 times this x is what gives us this 4x. Now the next step is not to take this and put it in our next box, okay? Because remember, the first thing we have to do is make our perfect square. So this is our perfect square here. So 4 times 4 gives me 16. That's what our perfect square would be. Okay, what I want you to notice is this number for my perfect square is not the same as this number. When it's not the same, it means we have to do one more thing. In my perfect square, this is what I have. I have 16 little boxes. But what I actually want to have is right here. I want to have 9. So I have 16, but I only want 9. So in order to figure out the rest of this form, we need to figure out what do we need to do from 16 to get it down to a 9. We're either going to be adding or subtracting something. So to go from 16 pieces all the way down to 9 pieces, we are going to take away 7 pieces. Now I said before, our vertex form is what goes around the outside of our box. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this information that we have outside of our box, and this is what we're going to use to write our vertex form. So the first thing we do is we take what's either on the top and the side of our box, and that goes in parentheses. So on the top of my box and the side of my box, I have x plus 4. And since it's on the top and the side, we square it. Okay, so we have x plus 4 squared, that's this and this. And then the last little bit of my vertex form is we have to take this adjustment, this little bit that we had to do, and we add it on to the end of our vertex form. So we have our perfect square, and then we have to minus 7 from that perfect square. All right, let's try this next one. So again, we're going to start off, first term, first box, x squared, and we're going to label x and x. The next part, we're going to take this 12x divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we get 6x in each box, which means that this is going to be a plus 6, and this is going to be a plus 6. All right, now let's complete our square. We're going to do 6 times 6 gives us 36. So I have 36 little pieces. What I want is this 42. I want to have 42, but I only have 36. So what I need to figure out is how do I adjust this 36 to make it 42? Well, my number is getting bigger, so I'm going to add, and I'm going to add 6 pieces to get that 42. And now it's time to write our form. So remember, take what's on the top and the side. We've got that x plus 6, and since it's the top and the side, we square it. That gives us our perfect square, but remember, to go from our perfect square to what we actually want to have, we have to add 6 more. And that's how you complete your warm-up.